Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, why we're good, and why we're the choice to make, and then we're going to get into the different options that we have available. Well, that some of the options that are available, but we're going to present as the best. And Holborn Assets is a global wealth management firm. I myself hold multiple citizenships. I have multiple residencies around the world. I've lived and or worked in over 20 different countries over the last 14, 15 years. And I'm very well versed in the global citizen paradigm, whether it's actually living it, working it, using it. And my whole life experience, professionally and personally, has sort of put me in alignment with working with these sort of global mobility assets. And so I teamed up with what I believe is the best in the industry, which is Holborn Assets and Holborn Pass. And the reason I believe that Holborn is the best in the industry is, well, it's multiple. Number one, it's a global firm. We are a firm of global citizens. All of us, well, the vast majority of us are global citizens to some degree. Number two, we are a wealth management and a financial services firm. I will let you know now, these investment moves are six-digit moves. These are six-digit investments. We're talking 100, 200, $300,000 up to $1 million. But Holborn goes back to 1998. It's a originally it is a British family firm where we are growing. This 500 plus employees is actually an older number. We've been growing since the middle of 2024. We have 20 international offices. We have one office in Portugal, and I mention that specifically because Portugal is our signature product. Portugal Golden Visa is the most popular and most used program in the industry, and we are the number one agent for the program. We have done 10% of all the Golden Visa applications ever filed, and we've done 300, just over 300 since 2023. And we have done about 40 so far this year. So we prioritize what is best for the client, and in Portugal, we're able to do that with exclusivity. Very unique programs that maximize the power of the Golden Visa for our clients, and you'll see about that here in a minute. But Holborn is not simply your connection to the Golden Visa or the citizenship program. We handle everything from beginning to end with you. We are a one-stop shop. We are all you need, in essence. And with the Portugal program, for example, that in year 5, you will be reaching citizenship eligibility. And then we help transfer you from the Golden Visa stage into the citizenship phase, because that's genuinely what the Golden Visa program was built for. It is temporary residency. There are some Golden Visas out there that are permanent residency. Portugal is a temporary residency. So you do really want to, we put you on the pathway to citizenship because you do really want to follow that. But we handle everything from the bank account, tax information, the Golden Visa process, and eventually the citizenship process. It's all sort of packaged together in all of the programs that you could work with us through. And this is a snapshot of the programs. This actually is not complete. We do work with Canada. We've done work with Australia. Those options are not on here. We now launched this week. We officially launched our Latvia Golden Visa, and that's not on here yet. So, and some of these are more lucrative than others. You know, the Caribbean programs are very, very powerful programs. Vanuatu, not so much, but for some people, Vanuatu is an option. So this is just a comparison of the programs we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Portugal, the United States. Those are the two most powerful programs in the world. They're very, very lucrative programs, and they tend to be where the vast majority of our clients go. Real estate, very powerful in the UAE. That's a very powerful place for real estate investors right now. And the Caribbean programs are citizenship programs for a second passport. And Greece is also the second most popular EU program right now. Spain also, but Spain's closing, and we'll talk a little bit about that. The one thing that sets Portugal, not the one thing actually, many things, but of the many things that sets Portugal apart is all of these programs require physical residency for you to become eligible for citizenship, except Portugal. Portugal's time frame for citizenship is 5 years. It begins from the day we submit your golden visa application. You have a 7-day-a-year visit that you need to make, but other than that, you will be eligible for citizenship after 5 years, even if you don't relocate to Portugal. It's unique in that sense, and it's the only program we have that does that. So we will begin with Portugal. It is our signature program. It is the most popular program, and in many ways, it is the most powerful program for most clients. It provides the retirement strategy. It is the best plan B. If you're a member of or if your family is a member of the LGBTQ plus community, Portugal and Spain are two of the best destinations to go to. The Portugal Golden Visa is EU citizenship, EU residency. So it opens up all of the EU to you. Once you gain your Portuguese citizenship, you can live anywhere in the European Union you wish. So Portugal can just be your doorway. Let's say you ultimately want to live in Germany, or you ultimately want to live in Italy. You can move there with your Portuguese passport, and you have residency rights there. You just move in, take up a residence, and you're good. Everything works. I am an Italian citizen. I have residency in Spain. That's where I'm currently living. I've lived in Portugal. I've lived in Romania. I've lived in Hungary. You just simply live where you want to live when you're an EU citizen. And Portugal is the most direct and easiest pathway to leverage that power. So with Portugal, you do require a minimum investment of $500,000. The most popular hospitality projects and some investment funds. Investment funds are kind of like the cut and paste option of the Golden Visa. You'll see everybody offering those. Different funds. There's thousands of investment funds in the world. Only 30 to 35 are actually eligible for the Golden Visa in Portugal. And we do have hospitality projects throughout the country. Unfortunately, the Lisbon project, what I'm going to show you here next, just sold out last week. I did not have time to update this. Our Lisbon project was our most popular one, but we have now replaced that with a new Algarve project. But we do have 3 hotel projects available, 1 in Porto, 2 in the Algarve, and they're very, very popular. This is the project we sold out on. This is Royal Albados, that was outside of Lisbon. The hotel up here was phase 1. That hotel is in the back here. This in here was phase 2 that we sold last year. And this down here was phase 3, which we just sold out last week. Back in here is supposed to be phase 4 at some point, but we don't know when that's going to start, so we don't have anything about that now. But this is what we just sold out last week, honestly. It's the Royal Albados. You can Google it on maps, you'll see it. And this is the basic structure of our hospitality programs. It differs slightly from development to development, but this is the basic structure. And but again, we just sold this one out last week. This is the one we have in Porto that is currently available. As of yesterday, we have 5 units remaining in this project. This is the Gaia Riverside, and you can see it right here. This is a full development project. This is the land is there. They're building the units. They're building the hotel. This right here, the black building connected to the white building, is a Hilton. And this long white building here is the Lodge. It's a Marriott Autograph Collection. That is the neighborhood you are in. 4-star hotels. That is the nightly rate this hotel is going to be generating. If you look up and down the coast here, I just noticed when I say it is walkable to the boardwalk, you will see it is the boardwalk. There's not much going on along the coast, along the shorelines up and down the river here. This is the cultural heart of Porto, but it's also the wine heart of Porto. These are all wineries and things like that in the background. This is a highly tourist area. And it is called Gaia Riverside. The hotel. It's a hotel, but the rooms are very apartment-like. And its expected completion is Q4 of next year. And this is an investment where it requires $500,000, but instead of getting a quarterly payout or an annual ROI from the shares, you are buying into share, you are investing into the hotel project here. So you get your ROI upfront, you get your return upfront, which is 101,000, but that automatically will be added to the €500,000 euro investment. So out of pocket, you're coming with an investment of 399,000 euros plus the 101 that of your upfront compensation. So you're not going to get anything along the way. Okay. You're not going to get quarterly payouts or anything like that. You're going to get it all up front to use toward your €500,000 investment. You do get 3 weeks complimentary stay here, which you can use to satisfy your 1 week a year. And this is a 6-year relationship. This is a 6-year long investment. So from the time of approval to year 6, you will hold this investment with your renewals along the way. Your Portugal Golden Visa is investment linked. So you have to hold the investment to hold the Golden Visa. In year 6, this investment, you reach a decision. You can get your €500,000 buyback, which is a return of your investment, or you can acquire the apartment, which then involves you paying the taxes for the real estate acquisition and things like that. That is a typo there. It does not continue the investment hold. Your Golden Visa ends in year 6, but in year 5, you've transitioned to citizenship. So that's why this doesn't matter in year 6. You can either get your return investment back, or you can hold on to the unit as passive income. There is about a 4 or 5% annual ROI you can expect on that. But that's the Porto option. We have about 5 of these left. One of our newest options in the Algarve is with IHG Hotel. It's, as you can see right here, is the beach. This option works a little bit differently. It's a 500,000 upfront, and about 30 days after you make the investment, you're going to get 125 back. But you do need the 500 out of pocket upfront. Unlike the Porto, you're only going to need 399 upfront out of pocket. So as you can see, the stages of the investment here: 125 after 30 days, 250 at year 5. Again, that's when you'll be transitioning to citizenship, and 125 at year 6, which will terminate the investment altogether. And you'll get 1 week a year here. Again, enough to satisfy your weekly and your annual requirement. This is a ready-built operational hotel. If you go to the IHG website and put it in Hotel Indigo, you'll see that they're accepting reservations starting in June. This is in the Algarve. We do have one more in the Algarve that we just launched this week, and it is just like this one. It's a ready-built rebranding, and it's pretty much like the original Obidos that we had. It'll be $399 out of pocket. There is a more expensive option with that one as well. It is a guaranteed buyback. And if you would be interested in that, you can set up a consultation with me, and I can go through that with you. Did not have time to add it to this presentation because we just launched it at the beginning of this week. But it's very much like the first slide I showed you. Should you not be interested in the hotel investment route, offer funds, these require an out-of-pocket of $500,000. You can focus your investment into a fund that focuses on hospitality or Bitcoin or AI or entertainment industry, agribusiness, technology, and there's another fund that focuses on established corporate companies in the Portuguese market. The most important things to remember is the fund has to be approved for the Golden Visa. And it's a €500,000 investment plus all the additional maintenance fees and things like that. And it is an investment fund. Whereas the other options that we offer have the upfront ROI and the buyback. This is pure investment. Risk is involved. I don't get into detail on these too much because each one's different. The way I approach the funds is simply, if you're interested in this, you set up a consultation with me, say, hey, Julian, I'm interested in the Bitcoin fund. We'll set up a meeting. I'll bring in the Bitcoin fund manager. I will introduce you to him. You can refer all your questions to them. They will handle and address everything for you. I'll just kind of, mediate the whole thing. And I think it's best for you to talk directly with the fund people. just handle it that way. And we can set that kind of meeting up for all of our investments, because that's just the way I operate. I prefer to put you in direct connection with the individuals that manage the whole projects. I like to emphasize that all of these programs are immigration programs. Okay, they're not genuinely investment programs, they are immigration first programs. So always keep in mind that the residency or the citizenship is what you're ultimately securing. It's not the cherry on top, it is the purpose. All this other stuff is the cherry on top that we put together. I try to streamline things, and I focus on a clientele that understands these are immigration programs, but we can get as technical as you want. We can run that price up as high as you want. In the end, the residency and the citizenship is all the same. So it's just a matter of how you want to approach it. But we can accommodate any way you want to go. Which brings me to this one right here, which is I call our no frills approach. Some people just want nothing more than the residency, and they want it as economically as possible. And that's what this is. This accomplishes your total investment of 500,000 euros. And how we use that is we bring in a third party that we partner with. They provide a loan to you for the 500,000. You use the loan as your investment. You pay upfront 168,000. That covers the interest, the fees, et cetera, for using the loan. This moves you forward to a 7-year relationship, at the end of which it's just a walk away with your well, at that point you have citizenship. In year 5, you're switched to citizenship, and then in year 7, this will culminate, this will end, and all the ROI that's generated along the way, the lender gets. This is simply you in the residency, and then the citizenship, and then you walk away. You have no exposure to the investment here, and the lender takes the risk. So this is a very streamlined, straightforward 168,000 on your part for the investment. Of all the numbers I'm going to give you today, the investment only, bear that in mind. There's fees and taxes and things and program costs that are in addition to those things. All of these numbers are investment only. So this is becoming a very popular option actually for our Portugal program. It's very streamlined, and it's the lowest price point you're going to find for the Portugal Golden Visa. And up until this week, it was the lowest price point for any EU Golden Visa, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's Portugal. And like I said, Portugal is the most popular option in the industry right now, and it's the most popular program for Americans right now. But all of our clients aren't American. All of our clients are not U.S. citizens. And for our non-U.S. citizen clientele, the United States is a very powerful move to make. Whether you like them or whether you hate them, if you're an HNWI, Trump is a powerful move to make. A Trump economy is a deregulating economy and a wealth-generating economy. That's proven fact. Under Trump 1.0, America's high net worth community increased their net worth by 77%. That was under Trump 1.0. Under Trump 2.0, they're already using the word trillionaire. So, take that for what it is. But for our non-US clientele, the US EB5 is an extremely powerful move to make. And we offer 2 really, really good programs. One is rural, one is urban. Rural gives you expedited processing. So this is, Trump has talked about deregulating. Well, he has already opened up America's energy sector, the oil and the gas. He's deregulating, and he says they're going to tap it completely and unregulated. And this first option is into the energy sector. It's the West Texas oil fields, among the most productive oil field region in the world. This is a rural opportunity. So that means this EB5 application can get approved within 8 to 12 months, to be honest with you. I said 6 here. It's 8 to 12 months realistically. It's considered a green project. This project is 800,000 in, and then 3.5 years later, you get 1 million back. And it comes with an investment schedule. So upfront, you only need the 400,000, half the investment. And then 2 months later, you put 200,000 more. And then 2 months after that, 200,000 more. There's a little bit of flexibility with this schedule. Ultimately, it just needs to be paid out in the first 6 to 12 months in full. So we have a little bit of flexibility with this scheduling. But, it is 400 upfront and then 400 afterwards. And it is one of our most popular projects because it's rural, so that's an expedited processing, and it does offer that 800 in, 1 million out opportunity. But it's not the only option that we have. We do have an investment. This is a Las Vegas-based company. It's in the entertainment industry. It's kind of considered experimental entertainment. It's like that full sensory kind of thing. It's just off the Las Vegas Strip. It's literally a 5-minute drive to the Trump International, Treasure Island, the Venetian, Wynn Las Vegas. That's the Las Vegas neighborhood you're in. It already has some significant anchor tenants in the Las Vegas outfit, Universal Parks and Resorts, and the John Wick Experience, which is part of Lionsgate. This already exists. This company has already had approvals of over 6,000 EB5 applications. They've already paid out dividends to over 3,000. This is the investment into their phase 2 development of this existing thing. They've expanded internationally. They're in Saudi Arabia, and they're expanding domestically in the US. But this particular EB5 project is their phase 2 of their original Las Vegas operations. It's a 0.25 ROI, which is a typical EB5 scenario. So, like I said, they have already started paying out 3,000 applicants. So this is tried and true. This is a good operation. What's significant about this is we can offer a loan of 400,000. So it's 400,000 in. Well, you can do the full, 800,000. But should you need to free up some capital or something like that, you can do 400,000 out of pocket, and then the loan for 400,000. And the loan is payable over 5 years, but you can pay it off at any time you feel like. Should you be interested in the loan, just email me for a consultation. I can give you a complete breakdown of the payment schedule month to month of the 60 months and everything. But so this is relatively a 400,000 out of pocket, 400,000 loan, and the previous one is 400,000, and then the remaining 400,000 in payment schedules. So both of these EB5 projects do give you a bit of a easier in to the EB5 program by reducing that upfront cost, and while still satisfying all the program requirements and all that. This is urban, so this is in the, let's say, 16-month approval range, whereas the rural ones are in the 9 to 12 months. This will take about 16 months to get approved from beginning to end. But those are our 2 US EB5 projects that are the best of 2025 to consider. Now, both Portugal and the United States can result in citizenship. Both are 5-year timeframes. The US is 5 years after you get your green card, and which is what the EB5 does. It results in a green card. And the Portugal is 5 years from the date we file your golden visa application. However, there are direct to passport programs. There are citizenship programs, specifically the Caribbean. They're the most popular. And of the Caribbean, the St. Kitts Nevis program is the most powerful. It's the most powerful passport of the Caribbean programs. And this also brings a slightly lower price point than the US and Portugal opportunities do. St. Kitts has just added, I'm not sure how many firms are actually offering this program. They've just added to their public benefit investment option their airport project. Tourism in St. Kitts is tremendous. It's 60% of their GDP, and it's increasing annually. So their airport's pretty important. So they're expanding the Robert R. Bradshaw International Airport down there in St. Kitts, and they've added it to their citizenship program simply because it generates a lot of funding for them, and it's a good way to get money for the project. So they are offering, we have been told through them that the incentive to choose the airport program does offer a quicker approval time. We're expecting 6 to 8 months. They're saying a little bit quicker than that, but it'll be 6 to 8 months. But should you do the St. Kitts Nevis airport program now, in likelihood you'll have your passport by the end of this year. There's a very, very good likelihood of that because they are giving priority to this. The St. Kitts passport is a very good passport. It's not as powerful as a Portugal passport or a US passport, obviously, but it does give you visa free to EU, Brazil, Hong Kong, Monaco, Russia, visa free to Russia is, I will have to admit, a very unique benefit of a passport. Both Portugal and US do not have that. So, and it does come with residency rights. Like Portugal has residency rights through all the EU. So you're talking 30 plus countries. Caribbean countries are part of what they call CARICOM, and it's like just a big neighborhood in the Caribbean, and there's rights you acquire for 12 other countries down there. So the St. Kitts passport citizenship does pass on with descent. So it is a legacy asset, as is Portugal, as is the US. And this is a very good program. Like I said, I'm not sure how many firms are offering this program, but it's our number one option in the St. Kitts and Nevis program. Now, some people like the idea of a second passport. They like the Caribbean, but they want a more tangible asset-backed investment. They've heard about hotel shares and things like that in the Caribbean. Not popular opinion, but I'm just going to be honest with you. The vast majority of hotel share investments in the Caribbean programs, they promise the dividends. In reality, they're very, very difficult to actually realize. They don't really pay out dividends on a regular basis, with one singular exception, and that's the Secret Bay in Dominica. This specific hotel, and it's a well-established hotel. It's a Relais and Château official 6-star hotel. It's not just something that's sitting there. It is internationally renowned. It is internationally branded by one of the best luxury outfits in the world. It has been voted the number one Caribbean hotel 4 years running. This hotel has been paying out shares dependably and reliably since 2019. So if you are interested in that Caribbean passport and you do want that sort of asset-backed investment that has promised dividends, this is the only one that's historically shown to be true to its word on that aspect. Every country offers the hotel shares, and we can give you options for them. But genuinely speaking, this is the one that's been historically tried when it comes to paying out the dividends. So the Dominican program does have a starting investment of $220,000, and it's a good passport. It's EU, Brazil, China, Hong Kong, Monaco, again, Russia. Russia's a very lucrative asset. Visa-free access to Russia is a lucrative asset for some people, and it's a rare asset. But this is a top 2025 investment consideration if you're looking for a Caribbean path. Now, speaking of asset-backed, Antigua and Barbuda is who we're going to talk about next. Traditional home ownership in the second passport industry is a very rare thing. It's difficult. St. Kitts talks about it, but making it actually become reality is a very worn-out process. In Antigua and Barbuda, we do have an actual traditional home ownership option with veranda estates. This is a tangible investment. It's traditional home ownership. It's 2 and 3 bedroom villas. They look very much like the image I have on the screen here. And this is something where if you're thinking second passport and retirement strategy, a place I can live in during my retirement, this is that. Whether you really want to live in Antigua or Barbuda or not, it's a different story, because it's not New York City. So if you're used to the lifestyle of New York City, well, you're not going to get that anywhere outside New York City anyhow. But we are talking Caribbean island here, so they're small and they're not as developed as other places in the world. But if you're the type of individual who wants to be left alone, on the grid, get off the grid type deal, and you just want that peaceful coastal retirement in a house that you own, and that second passport to complement your U.S. passport or British passport or whatever, this is a good consideration. Antigua and Barbuda program does require a minimum of $300,000, but that's program general. These villas are going to run you in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. So they are traditional home ownership. They're not hotel shares. You can rent these out on the secondary market, on the vacation market, but it's not going to be something you're going to throw on Airbnb. You are required to work with a local real estate agent as a property manager simply because the island has tourism, and they have to do sustainable tourism type things and that type of construct. So you will have to work with a local real estate agent if you want to use this passively until it's time for you to use it full time. It is possible. It's just not as simple as throwing on Airbnb. But it is traditional home ownership. It is a Caribbean passport, and it is the only program where you're going to get that traditional home ownership and a passport at this price point, at this speed. This is a 12 to 16, 12 to, year and a half application cycle, approval timeline. Then there's Grenada. Grenada is another very popular program because Grenada is the only Caribbean program that does open you up to the US E2 visa program. So if you hold Grenadian citizenship, you are then open to the US E2 investor visa program, which is a non-immigrant visa program, just to remind you. But this is the only of the Caribbean citizenship programs that connects to that. We do have a hotel share option here, which does offer a buyback. And there is also a donation option that starts at $235,000, which is up to a family of 4. It doesn't matter which option you choose. If you're only interested in the E2 or if you're only interested in the passport, it doesn't matter which of these two options you would choose. There is a third option that I did not add on here. And the reason I didn't add it is simply because of this. If your sole concern with Grenada is the E2 visa eligibility, we have a hotel shares option that will provide you a physical address. In order to be eligible for the E2 visa using your Grenada passport, you have to have an actual physical residency in Grenada. You can't simply use your, Russian address or your Czech address or your Nigerian address and your Grenadian passport. You have to have a Grenadian address with your Grenadian passport to use the E2. So we do work with a hotel outfit for the hotel shares option. And the benefit of that is they do provide you a physical residency to use for the E2 program. Should that be an option, send me an email for a consultation. We can discuss that. That's the only true benefit of that one. That's why I didn't add it here. But I put this one here as it does offer 2 buyback options, 100% at 5 years, or you can extend it to 7 years and get 100% buyback plus 2 years of rental income after that. This is a fairly new option, and so it's just in the beginning phases, but it's supposed to be working with the local university and things of that nature. But again, Grenada's most popular selling point is the E2 eligibility and its price point. It's $235 at the donation level for up to a family of 4. So again, it is a legacy asset, and it does offer Russian and Hong Kong and China and Brazil visa-free passport. So there are benefits to the Grenada program. But again, if you're only interested is in the E2, then you do want to send me an email because we do have a hotel shares option that will give you the physical address that you need. Moving on out of the Caribbean now, because those are what I put together as the best Caribbean opportunities for your second path. Coming back now to the EU and the golden visas, in the EU, Portugal is by far the best program. It's for the vast majority of clients. It's a very effective program. It gets you online to your EU passport and things like that. But some people want to genuinely own real estate, which you're not going to be able to do in the Portuguese program. The only actual effective golden visa that is available with ownership over property is Greece. Now, Greece has 3 different tiers: 250,000, 400,000, and 800,000. If you want something for your personal use, you're going to be at that $800,000 threshold. However, the 250,000 euro threshold is what they call commercial to residential conversion. And these projects are dominated by converting old buildings into real estate that can be utilized by the local community. So this is really an asset-backed investment where you're going to be using it as passive income. You're not really going to live in these projects as your, I mean, it's possible to some extent, but keep in mind that these are being actually built for the local community, the local rental market. You cannot do Airbnb with the Greece Golden Visa or anything like that. So these projects, this is our newest project. It is huge. It's the biggest project that's happening on the Athens Riviera. These are fully furnished units. These investments come with 10 years of property management, 10 years of guaranteed ROI, and it's brand new, so it's expected to be completed the second quarter of 2027. Again, it's a tangible real estate investment. It's a legacy investment. You'll hold it. You keep the Greece residency as long as you keep the investment. Greece is a permanent residency program, so you don't have to move on as long as you hold as long as you maintain ownership of the property. You keep the residency. You have to renew the card every 5 years or so that they can be sure that you still have, and where you have to prove ownership. But the residency is there. As long as you have the ownership, you have the residency, so to speak. There are one-bedroom units, studios, and twins. Twins are like a large unit that's been split into two studios. It's perfect for the university student market, which this development is surrounded by universities. There were two-bedroom units available in this project. There is now one left. Those two-bedroom units are much larger. Like I said, these are essentially designed for rental on the local market. Should you actually want to live in the unit, it is feasibly impossible, but I would also say that possibility would only genuinely exist with the two-bedroom units. So that's something to consider if you're interested in that. The two-bedroom units, there is one remaining. One's reserved. That it could open up again, but just for the sake of being safe, there's only one left. So that's something to consider. This is on the Athens Riviera, up near the port. It is a 250,000 euro investment. Again, that number will go up, of course, as you can see, depending upon the unit you choose. First come, first serve, of course. Should you want to invest in the middle of Athens, you're looking at a minimum of 800,000. This is on the Riviera at these price points, and this is the largest project that's happening right now in the Golden Visa program. So this is just an all-around complete deal, fully furnished, 10-year property management, 10-year guaranteed ROI, a selection of units, prime location, and honestly, this Piraeus has just simply been going through the roof over the last 5 years with real estate appreciation. It's just become the best part of the Athens Riviera to invest in, because the rest of the Athens Riviera is just hotels and resorts. Genuinely residential property on the Athens Riviera is at this end of it, and this is just the prime location for it. On the note of real estate, the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, does have a Golden Visa program, should you be interested in that. However, if you're purely interested in real estate, if you're a real estate investor and you're purely interested in getting your foothold in one of the best real estate markets on planet Earth, then the UAE is one of those markets, definitely. And we have just an extensive real estate portfolio throughout the UAE. We deal with all of these real estate developers, and these are the preeminent real estate developers in the UAE. And we provide our clients privileged access to these guys. We come out with basically a monthly bulletin. It looks like this. What we have to offer. Here's a close-up screenshot of what each box looks like for our real estate in the UAE. And so you can see what kind of information we provide. It's the actual picture of the development, the name of the development, where it's at, what's available. You can see down here the payment plan. Each developer comes up with a different system. 80-20 is 80% up front, 20 afterwards, things like that. They vary 60-40, 70-30, 65-35, 80-20. It just changes with the development and the project. We have exclusive access to some off-plan, but we also have on-market options. You can purchase UAE real estate as a standalone, and we can also, of course, throw in and add the golden visa to it as well, providing it meets this $550,000 minimum for the golden visa. So we offer UAE real estate at all various levels. We've sold $30 million penthouses. But if you want to add the residency option to your real estate purchase in the UAE, then it has to be a minimum of 550,000 US dollars, the property value. But again, this can be a standalone investment just if you want to get your foothold into the UAE market. We can definitely set you up with access to all of these developers, and just message me through email, and I can send you the updated property portfolio that we offer for the UAE, and you can look at it, and we can address everything. We have a dedicated real estate expert in the UAE. We stole him from Knight Frank, to be honest with you. He was the private client guy for Knight Frank's UAE portfolio. We stole him away, and I can set you up with him, and we can have a great conversation about all the properties that we offer. This sheet is about 3 to 4 pages long, and again, this is the kind of information you're going to get with each property offer. Two more programs around this up. Just want to mention this. Spain, which was previously the most popular golden visa in the world, has decided to close its program for a bunch of nonsensical reasons, but that's what they're doing. The program closes in the first week of April, which means you can still get in, but we have to have your completed application filed by the last week of March. So it will be a quick process. You have to make your decision very quick. We have to begin quick. We only require a 50,000 euro deposit to get this going, though. The remainder of the deposit will be required in month 6. Now, because of the timeline, you're not going to be able to buy property in Spain. Any firm that tells you can still purchase property in Spain in the golden visa is just trying to get the real estate commissions out of you. You're not going to make the deadline through property purchase. Buying property in Spain can take 2 to 4 months. So the only option that remains is we do have a hotel investment option, very similar to our Portugal options. It gives you an upfront ROI of 132,000, which you can use for the investment, which reduces your out-of-pocket to 368. So you would need 50,000 of the investment up front, and then the remaining 318 in month 6. This project that we're working on, that we're selling here, has a guaranteed buyback at year 10, and so you'll get your 368, you'll get your 500 back, and you do get 7 days per renewal period for complimentary stays in this one. Again, the balance is due in month 6, but you only need 50,000 euros of this deposit to start. So you'll have your 50,000, you'll have your upfront ROI, which is 132, and then the remaining will be due in month 6. But the most important thing to understand is we have to get that application filed by the last week of March. Otherwise, you won't make it. So there's still opportunities for this. If you're interested in Spain, you need to email me today or as soon as possible to get this moving. Now, our newest program, which we just launched this week, is Latvia. Might sound a bit strange, but hear me out. This Latvian Golden Visa program that we've launched is actually a very good move to make in many aspects. Number one, it is the most affordable EU residency there is. What starts at 100,000 euros. That provides you a 5-year residency permit, which is renewable one time for a total of 10 years. It is asset backed. It is a hospitality company that generally is based in Portugal and is opening up operations in Latvia. This program was built in partnership, working with the Latvian government. It's actually been running for a few months. The Latvian government and the Ministry of and all that wanted to see how it plays out. There have been approvals under this already, but we just officially launched it now to everyone, now that it's got all the sign-offs and everything. This has an incredible processing time. If you come to Latvia, it'll take 1 month to get approval. If you don't come to Latvia, then you'll have to submit through a local consulate, which extends you to about the 2 to 3 month mark. It's the fastest EU approval time and the lowest EU investment cost. You do get a buyback from year 5 to year 10. You can choose where in there you want to implement this. You have the €1,000 buyback. Bear in mind, when you activate that buyback, you lose the residency, because this is residency tied to investment, as all these programs are. So you can wait till year 10 to activate that buyout and get the full 10 years of residency, or you can activate it at year 5. It is legitimate, regular EU residency. This opens up the whole thing to you. This does put you on a pathway to Latvian citizenship. However, there is physical residency requirements and language requirements for Latvian. Again, it is an asset-backed investment, however. It is the lowest in the EU, guaranteed buyback, and you do only have to stay in the country 1 day a year, and that's just visit the country for 1 day, and that's pretty much it. It does come with a 7-day stay, complimentary stay, and that stay does not have to be in Latvia. The hospitality firm that you're investing in here, they have hotels worldwide. Your stay can be anywhere in the world. So that's an added bonus as well. However, what I would consider is this: if you purchase the Portugal program for 100,000 more, you can then purchase this program. This will give you EU residency at that 1 to 3 month mark. Then in year 5, when you transfer your Portuguese golden visa into citizenship, you can then activate this buyback, get this 100,000 back, and then in year 6 you would get your buyback in Portugal, and that would give you your buyback on both programs. But by doing it this way, you would have EU residency at the very beginning instead of having to wait for the process of the golden visa in Portugal, which is averaging around 2 years at this point. They have implemented things in January that's supposed to speed that up back to the 9 to 12 month mark, but those processes are just new. And so I do have to tell you that the Portugal residency process will take at least 2 years at this point. But this is a good add-on to consider to get that immediate residency near immediate, while you're waiting for the Portugal process to happen and moving towards that EU path. And that's the Latvia. Now, there is a power play to consider, which I didn't add the Latvia and the Portugal idea here because we just launched that this week. So that's the main power play. Adding that €100,000 Latvia program to the Portugal program is the real power play. But there's another option where you can leverage the St. Kitts and Portugal programs together. This option would give you the 250,000 at the public benefit of the St. Kitts, and then your 399 Porto option. And then at year 6, you'll get the Porto buyback, the Portugal buyback, which would end up with an ultimate investment around that 150,000 mark. Now, this is conversions here because the programs are a different currency. So all this is approximation, obviously, because I'm doing currency conversions to try and make things easier. But you understand the idea. The option 2 is to utilize the no frills, the 168 option with Portugal. The concept here is very simple. You're going to end up with 3 passports at an ultimate price lower than what one full program would genuinely cost you. So you'll have triple citizenship by year 5. You'll get your St. Kitts citizenship approximately year 1. You'll get your Portugal citizenship in year 5, plus your original citizenship. And those 3 passports together will give you EU visa-free access to whatever your current passport is, plus the EU, Brazil, China, Hong Kong, Japan, Monaco, Russia, South Korea, Turkey. These two passports I'm showing you here, they collectively give you residency rights in 36 countries. So add on to that what your original passport does, plus what you're looking at here is two legal alternative identities that you can use for banking, you can use for traveling, you can use for your asset protection. A passport is not just a travel document, it is your identity. And when you have different covers to those passports, you have different identities that you can use, and it's completely legal. And that's the power of a second passport or a third passport in this case. Should you be interested in this option or combining the Latvia and Portugal or any of these options, just give me a email and we'll set up a consultation. This is my information. Before I get here, let me just show you this slide. This is the necessary legalities. I'll give you a minute to read that while I talk to you about this. Now, we offer a wide range of programs. I'm highlighting specific ones that I, in my experience as a global citizen, thinks, in my opinion, are great, but that is all subjective to you and your situation. So you can look at what I've offered you here and you can decide whether that works for you or whether, it's not what you were looking for. However, we do offer a lot more than just this. I'm just highlighting here. If you have a program you're interested in, just send me an email. Effectively, we can work with any program from Australia to Vanuatu. We send the focus on the most popular ones, and because they're just the most popular, they're where the clients are. But we can work with you on any high net worth investment program that exists, and it just comes down to building something for you that needs to be built. And this is my information. You can email me here. That's my Instagram. That's my Substack. I do some publishing on there. So there may be questions in those articles that you could get. That's my website. And I do have a LinkedIn article. If you scan this code, it'll take you to my LinkedIn, which will take you eventually to all this other stuff. And that's me. That's a good picture, I think. I don't know. It's a good picture, I think. But that's it in a nutshell. I call these our best of 2025 so far because the key to remember is this. These are immigration programs, okay? They're immigration programs that offer different investment opportunities. We have tried to take these programs and transform them into opportunities that are the best for the client. But again, any program that you would be interested in or any option that I've talked about you would like to discuss further, just send me an email. And I can set up an appointment with any fund manager that we work with and bring in the heads of any of our, head of Portugal, our head of the US. I can set up and introduce you to those gentlemen as well, ladies and gentlemen as well. And and answer any additional questions and go from there. I approach these as immigration programs. That's what the goal is, the citizenship and the residency. All the investment ROI is the cherry on top. So I like to just simply refer you to the financial experts that are running those specific investment projects that we have and let you refer all your questions directly to them. And I can arrange all of that in a free consultation. That is no problem. But what I've showed you and what I present is just the streamlined version. This is what you put in, this is what you get back, and this is the timeline, and these are the best opportunities that I believe as a global citizen myself. So I've actually answered all the questions that have been asked. So I won't waste anybody else's time. Again, here is my contact information. Email me at this address, and we can set up a consultation. If you're interested in the fund, let me know which fund, and we can get all that going at that time. But with that in mind, thank you very much for taking time out of your day. Your time is an investment into me, and I genuinely appreciate that, and I value it. I represent I work with a small select group of clients, so I give as much one-on-one consultation, one-on-one attention as I can to each and every one of my clients. So I'm always available to all of you. Just reach out to me at any time, and we can make your mobility dreams come true. Just have to start the process. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I'm available at your request, and have a good morning, afternoon, and evening.